When you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate. Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh, my city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh, oh. Give it my city, my city. My city, my city. Where do you go when your heart's with a fever? When she's cruel, but you won't leave her. Oh, here we are, all the freaks and believers, all the sweet neon dreamers. Oh, my city. My city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh, oh. Give it my city, my city. My city, my city. Give it up for my city, oh, oh.
Welcome to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling. The legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday, every Wednesday. I did it again.
Yeah, you did.
Every Wednesday after AEW and NXT. Every Friday
You know-
after SmackDown.
At this point, you should just let me do the intro because you've screwed this up
Probably, because I just...
so many times over the last
Well, I
2
gotten so
weeks.
used to saying Tuesday, and now it's like messing me up.
And
Hello, is it Nelly? Nell? Hello, John L. Hi, James. How you doing?
what's up?
I didn't think Raw was too bad.
I didn't either. I thought it was pretty good. I think there were parts to it that were sucky, and then I thought there were parts to it that were really good.
Yeah, there's some spots that were kind of. So we're gonna start the show. Talk about Mike Kanellis.
Yeah, so today on Twitter, Mike Kanellis, he put up a tweet with a huge long paragraph of him just thanking everybody and essentially saying that he wants more out of his career for wrestling than what he is getting right now. So he has put in he wants his release from WWE.
Yes.
That's what he wants. So we will see if WWE gives it to him. I feel bad for the guy because I can understand where he's coming from in saying I want to make more of my career than what I'm getting right now, because right now I'm on TV and I'm in a stupid storyline and I'm doing stupid things and it's stupid.
Well, I think that, he's ready to, I think the storyline kind of turned him off. I know that he just signed a contract.
In June.
And I think he was probably expecting more than what he's getting.
Yeah.
And the storyline he's been in just hasn't been good. And so I think he wants out. How you doing, Export?
The Saudi show is going to be a disaster. Yes.
The only thing Export is if WWE is telling him that he's going to be in a good storyline and things like that, and that he's going to get pushed or he's going to be on TV more, and they're telling him this storylines are going to be good, and so you have to. I wasn't able to see Raw, so I don't know what happened.
Well, that's cool.
Stick around. We'll talk about it.
Hang out. We're going to go through all of it.
I don't know that we can totally blame Mike Kanellis.
No, I mean, definitely just based upon what they were doing with other talent, he should have had a feeling that they weren't going to use him. But I still feel bad for the guy just because, like, it does suck that he's not getting what he wanted out of his career in WWE.
Yeah, I agree.
Lana and Lashley's going to be on the storyline. I don't even...
We'll talk about that here in a minute.
I just don't even know what to say about that anymore.
So the show starts off with the Fiend and Seth recap. Basically what's happening.
2 weeks late.
Yeah.
You know?
Not much to it, kind of old information.
Pretty much.
If you've seen it over the last 2 weeks, then the first part of this was just, like, pointless if you ask me.
It's the end of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
How you doing, Zando?
Wow, I didn't enjoy Raw tonight.
I didn't think it was too bad.
I didn't think it was horrible, but I didn't think it was, like, the best Raw I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad, Bloxburg.
So, we then get Becky.
Yes.
Becky comes out. She says, I came out ready to beat Sasha up. Sorry. Let me try that again. Wow. Ooh. Excuse me, guys. I've been up for a long time. I had an infusion today. So if I'm all over the place, that's why. The ending made me mad. Yeah, we'll kind of talk about the ending. I had mixed feelings. So, the first 2 hours was somewhat decent, but the third hour took it deep down. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like what they did with the. I know a lot of people didn't like the ending, but I have thoughts on the ending.
We'll talk about it. So Becky, we start with Becky. She comes out. She says, "I came out so ready to beat Sasha up and down the building, but I come to find out she isn't here due to the last beating I gave her. So tonight I have to fight somebody who I can't seem to get rid of." And then Charlotte comes out and she says, I don't want to keep coming out and taking opportunities from all these other people. I don't want to keep doing that. Bex, I just want to be friends again. That's all I want. I just want to be friends again. That's all I want now, is for us to be best friends again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to be friends, and then she kicks Becky upside the head. And then, they beat each other up for a solid couple minutes, throw each other around the ring and everywhere, this, that, and the other thing. And then we have their match.
This was pretty obvious who was winning.
It
just because Raw had to win.
Yeah.
I mean, these first matches, both, at SmackDown on Friday and here on Raw, were pretty obvious. I just don't understand the point of them.
Yeah.
Because you knew whoever was representing Raw was going to win.
Yeah.
Because Raw gets 3 picks to SmackDown's 2.
Yeah.
So there was no surprise in either one of these.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was a good match.
I did too. I know a lot of people I saw quite a few people on Twitter complaining that it was another Becky and Charlotte match, and I was like, okay, I get it. It's another Becky and Charlotte match, but every time they get in the ring together, it's a good match. It's not going to be a trash match that you can't sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte versus Lacey. That was utter garbage. It's not one of those matches. Okay?
Oh, it was a solid match.
It's a good match that you can, keep your eyes on without them, bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I understand what people are saying with they don't want it to be Charlotte and Becky anymore, but they're on the same brand now. So, It's going to happen every now and again.
It's going to happen a lot because that's who they push.
Okay.
Woo. Watch. You have superstars that are free agents now, yes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they do with them. Raw was fire when they started off with Bex Gold, Pure Gold. I knew you'd say that, James. It was your favorite Raw when they started off with Becky. Jinder get drafted before Cesaro. Yeah.
I want to talk about that, though,
You look at the draft, and I don't understand the draft at all.
I thought it was, decent because we didn't really know who was going to get drafted because we didn't have the list anymore. But, like, yeah, some of, like, the drafting placements were, like, weird and, like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Definitely.
There were a lot that were like that. So, Becky wins. She had to win. And then we go to a Seth interview backstage where he says he's going Fiend hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I was like, huh, this could be fun.
Yeah.
So, then we got draft, round 1. Draft picks for round 1. So, drafted first to Raw, we have Seth Rollins. I thought it was obvious that Seth was getting drafted first.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
We all knew Seth Rollins was going to be the first pick.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think we all knew that. It was obvious, and there was not a doubt in my mind that he wasn't going to be the first pick.
I have thoughts on the crown jewel at the end here, Zandel. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it. Then we have Brock Lesnar drafted to SmackDown. Again, not shocking. I knew he was going to be one of the first draft picks. And then Charlotte gets drafted to Raw. Again, I knew this
Hey,
was
Mark's
happening.
Reviews, how's it going?
Yes. What's up? I knew Charlotte was going to get drafted to Raw. It was just kind of obvious at this point, too. Just because they already have Sasha and Bayley, who was drafted later in the evening, to SmackDown. It was obvious Bayley was staying at SmackDown from the very beginning because she's now the SmackDown Women's Champion. So, with them being on SmackDown, you had to put Charlotte and Becky on Raw. There was no other way to go around that.
No, you knew that was going to happen.
And I know a lot of people had speculated that they were like, oh, Charlotte and Becky, they shouldn't be on the same brand and this and the other thing. Well, they are. And I have been saying this for a while now.
They can't, Jono.
They should have put Liv Morgan on SmackDown. Yeah, I can agree with that if they were going to do something with Fiend.
I still think they're going to do something with Fiend. I think she's just going to terrorize.
Well, they can't because she's on Raw and Fiend is on SmackDown. And after this week, there is no more cross-promotion.
I think she's going to terrorize Raw.
Okay, she might, but she's not on SmackDown.
But that's what I'm saying is I think she's going to terrorize Raw. Great Raw tonight, I thought. What happened with the OC versus Street Profits? And a mystery partner.
Yes. We're getting there. They did some cool things with Street Profits, and we'll talk about that. So then we have New Day going in, number 4 of the first round, and they are going to SmackDown. I wish they would have broken them up.
They're going to keep them together.
Well, it's stupid.
Well, they probably want to stay together, I'm guessing.
Well, they probably do, but like,
and they have
why?
They have enough pull to keep it
Well, they
stay
might,
together.
but they're not interesting anymore.
Well, they aren't, but there's a lot of wrestlers that aren't interesting. So.
No, but New Day is especially not interesting anymore. And so, why are they still together?
Look, James was shocked. He's so shocked he was laughing about it.
Like, I don't understand that. You should have let them, like, I want Big E to go on his own, do his own thing. I want, Kofi to do his own thing. I want, like...
So would you put Kofi on Monday Night Raw?
No, I'd probably keep Kofi on SmackDown and move Big E to Raw. Honestly. And then you can leave Kofi and Woods together as a tag team to add to the tag team division, but I think Big E should go out on his own and do his own solo thing on Raw.
You know what? I would almost move Big E to SmackDown. Because right now, that's where the focus is. If you're going to try pushing him as...
No, but if you look at the draft picks here, there are quite a few big names on Raw now.
I'm not saying there aren't, but they're going to try and push Fox. So if you want to push Big E as a singles competitor, SmackDown would be an awesome place for him.
I suppose, but I think putting him on Raw would be better. Agree to disagree. New Raw Tag Team Champions. I'm so happy and was excited for the Viking Raiders or whatever their names are. You break the New Day and all of them are going to lose. I'm sorry.
I don't get lost. I don't think that Big E will get lost.
Oh, I can't read.
I think that he would have a shot at being a singles. like
Big
being a
E
star by
could.
himself.
Kofi, they tried.
I think
Kofi, no. I think the thing with Kofi is that they kept him with New Day, and he was still oriented with the New Day and wasn't his own individual character. He had New Day behind him, and he was still doing his whole pancake thing, and I think that's what kind of, didn't help his singles spotlight run over the last several months.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they did
understand
something stupid by having him get beaten 2.2 seconds by Brock Lesnar, and then you forget about him. You haven't seen him on TV since.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think that it would have been, better if they had kind of, moved him away. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
I wish they would have, moved him away from New Day.
Well, I don't know.
At least for his singles run.
But
I think it would have helped him.
I think Kofi is Kofi. I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't see Kofi as being a champion, anyways.
So then the last first round draft pick that we have is Andrade and Zelina Vega going to Raw. This one shocked me a little bit. I did not expect Andrade to be in the first round, but I'm okay with it because if they're going to push him and make him a legitimate threat to the U.S. title division or something like that, I think even going after Seth.
Yeah.
He is one that could go after Seth.
How you doing, Chaos?
So I think that I'm glad Andrade's on Raw.
Oh, I thought the draft. I kind of thought the same thing. I didn't like the draft.
I thought it was stupid, but I was happy with who they put where they did for the most part. There were a couple that I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I was like,
Who was the big swap they were going to do? They didn't do.
I don't know. We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
After the FS1 show.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the first
Supposed
day.
to find out tomorrow.
So, I'll be on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I can
post it
put stuff on there because we don't have a show tomorrow anymore.
Andrade is with Charlotte, so of course.
Of course, he was going to be on Raw.
Yeah,
it was obvious. Again, the couples, they generally keep them together. So if Charlotte was going to Raw, then Andrade was going to. Zelina was going to Raw. Alistair was going to go to Raw, which is fine and that's cool. But I was happily surprised.
Nice beard. Did you have that last week? Yes, I did.
I was happily surprised that they put Andrade.
Not quite as thick as it is now, but yes.
In the first round.
Yeah, it was too.
And then after that, they did Andrade and Ali.
But a lot of this really didn't make a lot of sense, so I don't know. I don't know that the draft really, which is why I think the draft is kind of screwed up.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, because when you have Brock and Seth selected in day 2 of the draft, I think it's kind of messed up.
Okay, well, they weren't going to select them in day 1.
3 of your biggest names were selected today.
Okay.
Why would they not pick the first? I mean, if it was a true draft where you're going to go, okay, I'm going to pick the best people
split them up
and bring the best people to our brand.
They split them up into 2 categories, and they were only drafting certain people at the different times.
I get that.
Because they can't draft everybody at once, otherwise they're going to have to do, 95 different rounds in one show. And they wanted, Becky to be the overall first draft pick.
Well, I mean,
so they did that.
Whatever's made of it, it just wasn't it was kind of goofy. So then we have Andrade versus Ali, which I thought was a good match.
I did too.
Again, I think
Ali is undrafted.
Here, it was too obvious who was going to win. Since Andrade's on Raw, for sure, I think it was obvious who they were going to have win.
Wait, did they? No, they did. They did draft Ali.
And
he was undrafted at this point in time when this match happened.
So I think, when they had this match, it was there was no doubt who was going to win.
Yeah.
Then
we got...
When Drew McIntyre comes back, he's gonna go off on Seth Rollins. Yes, I agree. I think that he's gonna go after him. I think he'll be the one that gets a push for the title. Now, whether he gets it or not, I do not know. But I think he is going to be one that gets a push for it.
By the way, they false advertised Street Profits versus OC for tonight. Instead, we got Kyrie and Asuka versus Lacey and Natalya. Screw this company. We knew we were getting the Kabuki Warriors versus Natalya and a mystery partner from like the very beginning of the show, and then they didn't mention it again until their match happened.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like, okay then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So after the Andrade and Ali match, we had round 2 of the draft picks. Kabuki Warriors are selected first, and they are drafted to Raw. Then we have Daniel Bryan, who is drafted to SmackDown. Rusev is drafted to Raw, so we can continue this almighty, excellent, stupid storyline with Bobby Lashley and Lana. Woohoo! Then we got Bayley drafted to SmackDown. Again, super obvious. And Aleister Black drafted to Raw. Let's see here. Ali deserves better, and so does Shelton.
Yes.
I'm ready for Joe to come back.
Bianca Belair can push on her own. I think she could.
Why would they team Lacey Evans and Natalya up? That was stupid by WWE. The amount of losses Ali got lately. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
The Lacey and Natalya thing, I'm cool with, because if they're going to try and push the women's tag division, they need more tag teams to be in the division.
No, but the issue is that they are not on the same brand anymore.
How you doing, Forgetty?
I'm here for the haircut, and I love it. Well, thank you. I got it cut yesterday. I chopped all my hair off.
It was like 2 feet of hair.
23 inches.
Yeah.
And it's all short now, so I love it too. I didn't enjoy Raw tonight, TBH. I'm so sick of Kyrie and Asuka. Well, that's just because they went after Becky last week.
Yeah.
No, I'll talk more on the Lacey and Natalya thing later because I have some things to say. So then we got Rudolph versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It was so obvious that Viking Raiders had to win this match. They had to. There was no other choice.
Yeah.
Sasha's going to be gone for a while.
Wrong, export. James is not sick of everything. He still loves Becky.
If the injury is legit. Yeah, that's what we were talking about this in the car on the way home from getting my infusion.
Chaos, I kind of said the same thing. It seems like she's always hurt.
If she's, like, hurt for, like, reals, it's, like, her back or something. Like, that's what all the reports were. And she is going to be gone for a while. So, what a comeback story, bro. You come back after getting yourself under control, and then you get hurt, which, like, sucks.
Yeah. It's I mean, if she's really hurt, then okay, but, you know, she seems to always get hurt.
She has been hurt a lot, like, legit hurt.
Well, there's no doubt, but I mean, like, her mental state is not, like, strong. If she doesn't get her way, it seems like she pouts and goes off somewhere and throws a fit.
Okay, whatever. You're going to be that person.
Well, am I wrong?
No, it had nothing to do with her pouting about them messing up the tag team titles and this, that, and the other thing. It was that she wasn't enjoying her job anymore.
But
it's
why?
the same thing Jon Moxley did.
Let me ask you this.
So what are you saying about Jon Moxley?
If you don't know, because there's a difference. She was getting a push. Jon Moxley didn't get anything.
He did get things.
He was put into goofy storylines.
No, he did get things, but he didn't enjoy working them because they were stupid.
That's what I'm saying. He was put into goofy, hey, go do this goofy storyline, kind of like Mike Kanellis.
No, but the way they did things with the tag championships, they were like, I don't like my job anymore.
Well, that's fine.
So, like, I mean, seriously.
You come back, make noise, and go away silently again. Give her a new AEW. She can bring down that company's division. So she can bring down. I don't get why, I don't get her. It seems like, and if she's legitimately hurt, then okay. But it just seems like, it's one of those things where if she doesn't get her way, it seems like she's hurt.
Again, as I said, you're going to be one of those people. But okay. I did not know Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler were going to
think
SmackDown.
about this. What kind of storylines was Moxley being pushed in?
He was being put in stupid things that he did not like.
Okay.
Okay? Now, you can say that about
Well, here's
anybody
Sasha.
else.
We're going to push you for the title. But since you didn't get it...
She's gotten an opportunity like 3 times.
Okay.
Like, you know...
Sasha's made her debut this Wednesday on Dynamite. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can compare them. Moxley wasn't being pushed for a title. Moxley was put into dumb storylines that
before...
were like a joke.
He was being pushed for titles before, and he said he didn't like that stuff.
Think about what they were pushing him for, though. I mean, the stuff they wanted him to do.
I understand. Right up before he left, they were putting him in stupid stuff because he was leaving. I get that.
Mox was very badly used. Sasha was given the tag belts and acted insane when she lost. Thanks, Chaos.
Those are accusations, and nothing... Those were like reports that some reporter pulled out of their butt and put on the internet, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, Sasha was crying on the bathroom floor? What? She's such a crybaby. I can't believe this. No! Those weren't even actual reports. Like, people came up with those, put them out there, and then everybody, like, ran with it and was like, oh, she's such a crybaby, and this is what happened, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Like...
I don't think you can compare the two.
Nobody even knows what actually could have happened. Maybe her mental state wasn't great.
Might not have been.
Maybe she didn't like her job.
Might not have.
But to have people sit here and be like, oh, yeah, this is what she didn't get her way, so she's going and crying off in the corner again. Well, that's not what she did in the first place, okay?
The thing is, you know, if the same thing happens over and over again, where if things happen over and over again, then there's probably something to it.
Okay, and if she's legitimately injured?
If she's legitimately injured, then okay. I think that, you know,
no, but like,
it's one of those things that it
you
happens.
And everybody else are like, oh no.
By the way, hello, Life of John, and hello, Juan.
She's just a crybaby, and she took her ball and went home again, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and if she's out for like several months because she has to have like surgery on something.
Zandel, I agree with you. I don't think that the WWE cared. I don't think they cared about the tag belts.
And that's probably what made her mad and made her not like her job anymore, was the fact that Vince didn't want to take things seriously, and Vince thought they were a joke to begin with, and she felt disrespected and felt like the women's division was disrespected because he brought these stupid belts in that he didn't want in the first place.
Life of John, she was complaining about her 2K rating being an 80 overall recently. Again,
it's part of her character. That's what her character is now.
I don't know.
Okay? So?
It's kind of funny that she injury-prone Sasha. That's just it. I don't, you know, it's either injuries or she's just not mentally tough. One of the two.
Whatever. I just don't think it's cool for people to jump down her throat and be like, oh, no, she's just a crybaby, and she went off in the corner, and she did this, and she did that, and she is just... When she doesn't get her way, she just leaves, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other thing. It just makes me mad.
Okay.
Because, like, we don't know if that's the truth or not. So, those were things that were pulled out of the air that somebody was like, oh, let's put this out here. Sasha's a crybaby. And people ran with it. And now she has that to deal with.
I think they're trying to now make the women's tag belts relevant. But not enough. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the one issue you have with the women's tag belts, there's not enough women's tag teams out there. And so, really, I don't... Unless you moved all the women just to one show.
Which they're not going to do, ever.
I think it's tough to have a tag team division.
They'll make it work.
Because there's only about, 4 tag teams that are in the main roster?
Not really.
Now, if you're going to do cross-promotion and stuff, where they're going to allow the champion to go from SmackDown to NXT to NXT UK, then okay, I can see it working. But the way it is right now, I do not see it working well. I'd be happy to never see Sasha again. It's not heat. It's I don't care. Yeah. Sorry, Maven. She is crybaby, and she doesn't deserve anything.
Okay then. See, I'm not like a Sasha stan. I don't love Sasha. I'm not a person who's like, oh, yes, Sasha Banks, she's my favorite.
No, that's Becky.
But I'm, like, just a person that is like, hey, I don't think it's cool for people to be jumping down this other person's throat about things that may or may not be true. and accusations that people like have pulled out of nowhere, I just don't think that's cool. And I would do that for anybody. Like, don't sit here and say they did this and that when we have no idea what actually was happening.
Also, why did they cancel the Mae Young tournament?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They had it and then they didn't.
It's like anything else WWE does lately. They like throw stuff out there and then they like change their idea. Asuka needs a single push like the green face paint tonight. I would agree. I think she needs, and the only reason I think that
Actually,
I like the tag team.
I agree and I disagree. I like the tag team thing. I don't want. She can have a singles push, but I want her to keep Kyrie with her.
Well, I like the whole Kyrie tag team thing, but like I said, the division is not there. If the division, if they had a stronger division,
doesn't mean they can't have tag team matches.
No, it doesn't.
But
like,
I
if you're
like
gonna have the
Kyrie
same,
and Asuka together.
Listen, you were complaining about Natalya and Lacey because they aren't a tag team.
No, for other reasons, which I will get into later.
Okay.
But, like, they aren't a tag team. They're not on the same brand. They've already broken the rules that they said that they made, and it makes no sense.
But they said it was going to take effect after the draft. So.
Okay, well, the draft is over.
Okay, so now the draft's
when this
over,
match
so
happened,
we'll
the
see.
draft was over.
We'll see what happens now. How you doing, Martin? Brock versus Fiend WWE Championship so he can face Seth in Survivor Series. We'll talk about it.
I personally love to see Kabuki Warriors versus Team Kick for the Women's Tag Team Championships. That'd be cool, but gotta stay optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the one issue you have is just not enough tag teams.
Lacey's still trash? Well, James, I disagree. So Viking Raiders won, and then Viking Raiders...
James, Maven has come around, and she doesn't think Lacey is trash now.
No, I think she's fine. I think she's cool. So Viking Raiders win the Tag Team Championships. I think this was pretty much expected. And then the Viking Raiders cut a promo and say they are the first undefeated tag team in, like, for a while. They were undefeated in, like, Ring of Honor, and they were undefeated in, like, some Japan thing, and they were undefeated in, like, whatever this other thing was, and then they're like, join the raid. Then we got draft picks round 3. We got Cedric Alexander going to Raw. Nakamura with Sammy is staying on SmackDown. Humberto Carrillo is on Raw now. Ali is on SmackDown. And Eric Rowan was put on Raw by himself with no Luke Harper. Luke Harper is a free agent.
Yeah. I expect him probably... Well, I don't know. Because they're doing some changes here, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Changes? What is that I hear? Changes? Changes?
Why is the Fiend facing... Oh, where went that one? Why did Carmella stay on SmackDown? I think probably because they're splitting her and R-Truth up.
They did split her and R-Truth up.
I think that's the big reason.
In the next draft.
Yeah, I know.
In which we have Aleister Black versus Eric Young next. Eric Young made it on TV. Good for him. But he got put out quite early. And he tapped out.
Yeah.
And so Aleister Black won. Then we got draft stuff, round 4. We have Buddy Murphy going to Raw. Good for him. Really, really glad for that. Rudolph is going to SmackDown. Who cares? Not me. Jinder Mahal is going to Raw. Jinder Mahal. Whoa. Jinder Mahal over Cesaro. Jinder Mahal over EC3, who got drafted on the WWE.com.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
What? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I read that... Oh, Luke Harper pissed off backstage people recently. You guys hear about that on the Twitter thing? No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't see anything about that. I read that Luke Harper hasn't renewed his contract yet. Interesting. Eric Young has no use when Sanity left. Yep. Carmella and Truth should have not been split up, but I forgot she's with that tool, Corey Graves.
I think the thing about her is I think they're going to try and give her some sort of a push outside of the 24/7 European national
They can
world
put
title.
her up against Bayley now that Bayley is healed.
Yeah.
I think that's a good story.
I think that they're looking to do that. Sickness is killing me, though. But anyway, I hope Murphy gets treated right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I hope they treat him right. I hope that a lot of these guys that got drafted, they're actually going to use.
Eric Young is an agent backstage, so I doubt he will ever be more than enhancement talent. Yeah, more like EC. Why even come back to work? Because they aren't going to use me.
If you didn't see his tweet, he said...
It was so funny. Apollo Crews put up something about, like, Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, and then EC3 comes back with, well, yeah, but they put Tom Brady in the game.
Yeah.
They let him get in the game.
They let him participate.
Like,
like,
it was so funny.
yes.
Eric
is an agent backstage, so I doubt he will ever be more than enhanced talent. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I like Buddy Murphy, old theme, not the new one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Then we have Carmella drafted to SmackDown and R-Truth drafted to Raw.
Again, I think they split them up because I think that the 24/7 title's going away.
I think the 24/7 title's probably just going to be a...
thing of the past.
Probably. It's more the past staring...
It's because the Pats starting quarterback got hurt and Brady had to come in. That is true, Zando.
Fun.
That is true.
EC3 is amazing. Waste of talent right there. Yep.
So EC3 is waiting for somebody to get hurt so he can come in.
Yep. Pretty much.
Or they could just use him.
Or that. That could be useful too.
Just a thought.
So then we got Street Profits backstage. The OC comes and tells them that it's their show, and then they attack the Street Profits.
Yeah.
I love where this is going. Street Profits versus OC. Say what?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it.
I think it'll be interesting. I think Street Profits versus OC would be interesting.
It should be so good. Then we got Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin. Why this even happened, I don't know. Ricochet got the win. It was cool. Then we got a Braun and Fury recap. Woo!
Buddy Murphy was supposed to get repackaged. Guess the dirt sheets are wrong again. Does anyone know why the Fiend is facing Seth even though Bray is on SmackDown now?
Don't know. So they can finish the story, I suppose.
Because the
but it
Fiend
makes
can
no
show up
sense.
anywhere he wants to. Life of John. He could
That's
show up at your house.
Not the way this works.
From underneath your bed.
So we got
Don't
a
go to
Braun.
sleep tonight because you're talking bad about the Fiend because he's going to come up and scare you.
I said we were walking around in a Target earlier today, and I was like, you know what they should do? They should, like, pay out these different stores to have, like, the Fiend Firefly Funhouse music, like, play over the intercom for just a little bit. Just to, like, scare people. Be like, the Firefly Funhouse is coming to get you.
Yeah.
I thought that would be hilarious. They should do that.
Yeah.
Brian
Just throwing
and-
this out. Loved what Seth did to y'all, Precious Funhouse on Happy Day. Hey, James.
It was excellent.
I'm going to talk about that here at the end.
I thought it was pretty good.
Let him in. Yes.
So we got a Braun and Fury recap. Woohoo, who cares? Then we got Lana and Lashley. Again, who cares? These are just getting cringier, and it's like, why?
I don't get the point of this storyline.
I don't either. Why?
I don't.
Like, it's just cringy, and it's like,
well, like, who
make it
cares?
stop,
I've been
please.
watching more WCW these days because of what the WWE has been like for the last 10 years.
I'm like, just
How you doing, Clark?
stop.
Yeah, it's more, I've watched some old, I've even watched some of the old WWE, well, WWF on the network here recently, so, maybe we'll do a show with, we actually had a request for a show, a specific WWF Saturday Night Main Event.
WWF. WWEF.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Well, whatever.
95% of the people at that store won't have any idea what the music is. No, but I would.
That's the
And that's
important
what would
thing.
make it creepy.
How you doing, Elijah?
It follows me around.
Bubba Lashley just having his moments.
Were you a fan of the Steiner Brothers?
I was a huge fan of the Steiner Brothers.
WWE is booking like WCW did, and it's not cool, but whatever.
James, I've actually checked out. I'll answer your question here. Zendel, go back to what Zendel said. WWE's booking like WCW, and it's not cool, but whatever. I thought WCW up until the end they were good. When they started doing some of the stuff they did at the end, I thought it was like just dumb. Which is why I think they went under. NWA Power, I actually watched the first episode. I think it's titled episode 3. the other day. It reminds me a lot of the old World Championship wrestlings that I watched with the whole setup, the like the studio, the ring in the studio. I thought it was pretty cool. And we've talked about doing a show on it. So maybe once I am done with football and stuff, then maybe we can do an NWA show. So that could be something you guys look forward to is a show with talking about NWA power. Because I thought it was good. Jim Cornette is growing on me. Yeah, definitely awesome. I've always loved Jim Cornette. I wish the Horror Foundation and Sternbos would have faced each other back then. Yeah, I think it would have been good. Would have definitely been good.
Bobby is doing his best work in WWE right now, but what man wouldn't in his shoes at this point?
Yeah.
Are we being sarcastic here? Or are you being legit? Because, like, this is not good stuff.
No.
I don't know what you're watching, Chaos.
It's probably because Bobby Lashley is actually being used, and it's not like it's not just come down to the ring and like. I mean, I might be speaking out of turn here for Chaos. I mean, he could obviously speak for himself, but that's just my guess. James Storm is not his name now.
He's being
it's
sarcastic.
Tim Storm.
Because if he's not being sarcastic, I'm going to have to totally disagree with you, bro. Like, well, Bobby is enjoying it, but we don't. Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I don't know, John L. We'll have to wait and see.
So
Bobby
then,
is enjoying it, but we don't.
It's simple.
Yeah.
So then we got the King Court.
Yeah. I think the one thing about it is
It's stupid.
I mean, it's
Yes.
pointless.
Bobby cut his best promo in WWE last week.
Which says he has it in him. He just chooses not to do it, or they just don't turn him loose with it.
I just don't know.
I've heard mixed things on the Steiner Nash 2 out of 3 falls match from Super Bowl Revenge, but to me that match sounds enjoyable. Anything with the Steiners in it is probably going to be decent. I mean, in my opinion.
So then we have the King's Court contract signing with Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. Woohoo! So Braun says the only reason you were at the SmackDown premiere was to get some of WWE's spotlight. And then he goes on to say, I'm going to give you your first loss ever at Crown Jewel. Tyson Fury then signs the contract and says, I'm going to knock you out. Braun then breaks the table, and Tyson Fury breaks a pen.
Yeah.
This was stupid. I thought it was good up until the point where Tyson Fury picked up the pen and went... Snap.
Me personally, I think the whole thing's stupid.
I thought it was decent.
Use your talent
Like...
that you already have.
But no,
do you
like
guys-
this guy, he's like a boxer. And
Well-
like, he's like a big... And then he did this stupid thing where he was like...
I know, but I don't, the whole thing is stupid, so it's pointless.
It was just...
I don't like this storyline. I don't like the Brock storyline. You know, use the talent you have in WWE to promote them. And
I mean,
and
I agree.
It's just one of those things that this is pointless, if you ask me. Do you guys remember ghost stories in WWE? But did you guys see Bray Wyatt's story and he really described the Fiend? I did not remember that, but
I remember the ghost stories. I'd have to go back and watch the Bray Wyatt one.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now.
Tyson Fury is awesome. I'm happy to see him in WWE. He wants to stick around more. Gotta watch Tyson boxing promos. He's a showman. I don't care what he is.
The big
He
issue I
came
have
in out of nowhere.
here's the thing I
No,
have,
he
Chaos.
came in out of nowhere. No warning, no nothing, no build up, no
Yeah.
nothing.
I
And
think-
he comes in here and he gets a huge match, and it's ridiculous. Not 90% of people, like, if you are a religious like wrestling fan and you don't watch anything else but that, you are going to have no clue who this guy is. There were a lot of people that had no idea who Ken Velasquez was or who Tyson Fury was when they showed up on SmackDown. There were so many people, so many podcasts that I listened to that they were like, I had no idea who this guy even was. Because I don't watch anything but wrestling.
I understand what they're doing with it, but I think you're going to turn away wrestling fans.
I had no idea who the guy was.
I think you're going to turn away wrestling fans, and you may get the occasional MMA fan that's going to come in and check it out. But it's not a real fight, so they're not going to be like, oh, wow, this is really cool.
Have you seen the ratings from SmackDown?
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, that's the big thing. Where's it going to go? How's it going to work out?
Well, the ratings from the first week
I know,
when
but
SmackDown...
you expect that. I mean, I expected big rate numbers for the first one.
Well,
just
no,
because
and I
it's the first
understand
one
that,
on Fox.
but it was like half of
Yeah,
what it was.
But I mean, again, we'll have to see where it goes.
4.5, and then it went down to like 2 point something.
Yep. We'll
I
see
don't
where
even
it goes.
remember.
Were you a fan of Steve Austin in WCW or not until he came to the WWE? I liked him, but I wasn't like a huge fan of his when he was in WCW. You know, he was okay. If you don't know boxing, I doubt you care. But if you do, I know boxing, but I'm not like
Do I care?
Huge fan of the way they're doing this. He was supposed to break the pen, I guess, but he couldn't. That's your boxing champion, everybody. I didn't care for the Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman segment with the whole thing. It's just stupid. Yeah, I agree. At least with Floyd and Big Show, there was a build to their match.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with that, I didn't like it. I don't like when they bring out those other guys to do it. I understand why they're doing it, but I just don't like it. WWE should not have MMA fighters, but just stick with wrestlers. I agree because the fan base is there for wrestling.
You are a wrestling company. You did not get into this to bring in MMA guys and UFC guys and boxing people and everybody from every which corner, soccer players, basketball players. You didn't come to do that. You came to do professional wrestling. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's not professional fighting. It is professional wrestling.
Which is why I don't think you could get the MMA or the UFC or boxing. I think you're going to have troubles getting those fans to stick around because it's not a legitimate fight. How you doing, Anthony? It went from 3.9 to 2.9. Yeah, I knew the ratings had dropped.
If you follow combat sports, you know who these people are. If you're a wrestling fan and don't know who these people are, you shouldn't have a podcast. Wrestling is simulating what they really do. It doesn't matter. So you're saying that I shouldn't have a wrestling podcast now because I had no idea who that person was? That makes no sense. I don't follow UFC. I don't follow MMA. I don't follow boxing. I follow pro wrestling.
I think there's a lot of people that follow
So
wrestling.
I had no idea who any of those people were. Yeah, I might have heard Cain Velasquez, like, I'd seen his name in a tweet, like, once, but I had no idea who he was. I was like, I think that's Cain Velasquez, but I have no idea. And I didn't know who it was till they kind of explained on commentary.
Yeah, which is why I think there's a separation there. And I don't think you're not going to have a wrestler go fight, at least, and have a fight in UFC or boxing and have a legitimate shot at being a contender.
Like,
it's just not going to happen.
They're two totally, like, different things. I understand they're, like, trying to mimic it, so to speak. But even then, it's different.
Elijah, they're setting up a feud between Lashley and Rusev. Give it time. I would, but I don't like the way they're going with it. I think you could set up a feud between those two, doing it a different way. I understand what they're doing. I think they could just do it a different way. I doubt people are going to watch WWE Crown Jewel because it's on Halloween. Yeah, I would not be shocked. I think they may get some people that don't go in and watch it. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, and then it's on in the middle of the afternoon too, so I think that hurts. At least here in the States, I think that hurts them too. It's not professional acting. It's not professional acting, nor is it professional fighting. They are wrestlers. Yeah. That's a big drop. Again, the whole boxing fighters nearly killed NJPW back in the day, and that's Antonio Inoki booking. Yeah, I agree. I think that you do that, and you're going to be in some serious trouble.
They better not give Kane the belt because what was the use for Brock? Nobody knows. I just think it's low-key disrespectful to bring UFC or boxers who have never been in wrestling. It says you don't have wrestlers who can fight or do their job. Exactly.
And that's the issue I have with it, Zendo. You have this talent, you have all these wrestlers.
Bring in, you came into, like, to do pro wrestling.
Yeah, well, and I think
you are a pro wrestling company, so do you not have faith in your pro wrestlers that they can, like, put on a good show? You have to bring in these professional fighters who are professional fighters, which is a completely different thing. Like, I think it is disrespectful.
And that's the one issue I have with it is the fact that you're bringing them into. If I'm these other wrestlers, I'm going. I'm never going to get a shot. I'm going to be this little. EC3 may never see a ring, and so I just don't. I don't think it's good for the business. I don't think it's good for the company. I think it'll kill your company.
I agree.
Crazy thing is, Kane can actually wrestle though. I have no doubt he can wrestle. I mean, just because of it's UFC, there's a lot of UFC fighters that probably can't wrestle.
Kane can somewhat wrestle, but Tyson, hell no.
But it's a different thing. You're trying to put on a show and not just go out there and beat somebody up. And I think that's the big difference. And maybe over time, if maybe he would grow on me. But you're taking him from off the streets and putting him in the spotlight in what's going to be one of your biggest matches, and
no nothing. We know nothing about this guy.
Other than we beat Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah.
We know
that, but that's because they told us on TV. I didn't know that.
You crapped on all your other wrestlers that have been there, and that's the one thing that I have an issue with.
I don't watch that crap. Blood money plus no women. They're trying to get more money because SmackDown's on Fox, which I get that and understand, but you shouldn't have to do that by pulling in people that aren't even in your company.
They're looking for the next Brock Lesnar.
Cain Velasquez I'm okay with because he's been in a wrestling match and has some training, but still not right.
I think if you don't want wrestlers to sign with you and people that put on shows,
pull in UFC guys. That's cool.
Pull those guys in.
But I'm not cool with it. I don't think it's cool. I think it's just kind of like.
See you, Chaos. Have a good evening.
I just don't.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't know. Think you kill your wrestling and your wrestlers' morale if you start doing that.
I agree, which is why I don't think it's cool.
No.
So then we get draft picks round number 5. We get Samoa Joe drafted to Raw, which I distinctly remember them saying that he couldn't be drafted because he was injured.
Yes.
But then they drafted him anyways.
Yes.
Okay. We got Miz going to SmackDown. We got Akira Tozawa going to Raw.
He was drafted before King Corbin.
King Corbin is then drafted to SmackDown, and Shelton Benjamin was drafted to Raw.
I have a thoughts, Janelle. I will let you know here in just a minute.
After that, we got Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Another really, really good match. Love this. Buddy Murphy got the win. It was cool. Then we get told that we are getting Fiend versus Seth at Crown Jewel in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Who cares?
If they bring Kane in, why not Holly Holm to face Ronda? And she's afraid of. The thing about it is, James, I think that because Ronda isn't there right now, I think that that's one reason. But I don't want to see it.
I don't either.
Now, if they want to get UFC, then okay, I'm all for it.
I just don't think that
I want Joe on SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Kane does have a sick Hurricane Rana, but not sure if he's gonna do it with those knees that need surgery. That's what I saw, is that he's gonna need some extensive knee surgery. So I don't know if they bring him in, put the belt on him, and then he disappears. Oh boy, it's just like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
What is the purpose? There is no purpose.
There is no purpose. I think, I think that having those just kills.
I think they're going to put the title on him,
the WWE. They might. I don't know. Who knows? Does it matter?
No, because either guy they put it on is probably going to disappear.
Yeah, probably.
So it doesn't really matter.
Kane does have sick Hurricane Rana.
I already read that.
Oh, sorry. See.
The Falls Count Anywhere is going to end with a pin or a submission. Yeah. The draft is a joke. I say that because Bray, a guy on SmackDown, is facing a guy, Seth, on Raw.
I agree with the draft. I don't like it. I didn't like the idea. And I would prefer they just have him do cross promotion anyway.
Kane was at a AAA show and that's where he got hurt. Yeah, I guess they said something on commentary about him being in the lucha stuff.
Yeah.
But that was about the only thing I heard about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, I don't even know.
Blockbuster Trade has been announced.
Who is it?
What was it?
I'll look on Twitter.
Cedric Alexander.
Like they announced that they're doing it, or like
It was Cedric Alexander for who's going to do all. If I was going to do all this, that girl after with the tweet championship on Kofi Kingston. Yeah, I think Look, Anthony's going to leave us hanging.
they announced that they're doing it. Yeah. I did see that. They announced that they're doing it.
Oh.
It hasn't been announced yet, but it'll be announced tomorrow.
Yeah, they're doing it tomorrow night. I believe.
Yeah, as far as I know, they're doing it tomorrow night.
After their
show.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So, then we have a Street Profits promo. They say that they need a third person to go up against OC, but they're going to keep it secret.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
The best kept secret, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
It's a good guess. Ricochet? It's another good guess. But I would think maybe somebody they did stuff with in NXT. Aleister Black, Ricochet.
Yeah.
I don't even know who else.
I don't know. They got some options.
And I'm curious to see who they pair up with. Maybe it's not somebody that's already on the main roster.
Do you all think CM Punk will be on that talk show tomorrow?
I don't know.
That is a good question, Zendo.
I'm
going to say no.
Yeah, probably. But we'll see.
I don't think so.
So then we get the final draft picks. We have draft picks round number 6. We got Rey Mysterio going to Raw. Who cares? Shorty Gable going to SmackDown because we cannot get enough of the Corbin and
the draft is
Shorty
simply a smokescreen
Gable
to take attention away from AEW.
feud. They were both drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean,
it was so dumb.
It will probably have a feud with them.
Probably. Then we got Titus O'Neil drafted to Raw, Elias drafted to SmackDown, and Liv Morgan drafted to Raw.
Yeah. Liv was going to Raw just because of the Fiend thing.
The Fiend isn't even on Raw.
But the Fiend thing with Seth there's things
It
that she can
doesn't
do.
matter.
You have to have her on.
The Fiend isn't even on Raw.
Listen
How
to
does
what
this
I'm
make any
saying.
sense?
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. If they are in the same stable, same group.
No, but it makes no sense to put it on the
I
opposite.
think it makes perfect sense
the
because now you
opposite
can cross
show
over
than
with the
him.
Fiend and Liv.
It makes no sense.
The dude Murphy is a tool.
I disagree.
I think he's good. What if it was John Morrison? That'd be interesting. It was a good round.
They need to do more with Murphy.
They need to do more with Murphy. He's a really good wrestler. I agree. Murphy's an excellent wrestler. I don't know why they don't do more with him.
My baby Liv is on Raw. It's mostly same people staying on the same show. Liv Morgan is great. Mr. Gleen. He's Life of John is thinking the same thing I am. What are you even talking about? That makes no sense to put them on
I think it makes perfect sense because then you can do the cross promotion thing.
No, you can't. They don't want cross promotion.
Okay, well, whatever. Both shows want the Fiend. Don't tell me both shows don't want the Fiend.
No,
that's the
but
one thing they've got going for them.
do cross promotion.
Well, I think you're probably going to see it.
Well, I don't think so because they've already said themselves there will be no more cross promotion. They're going to have their own separate brands and they're going to be their own things.
Wild Card Rule is back, baby. It took them a few days. I 100% agree. I think you do cross promotion.
I don't think they're going to because they've already said themselves they're not doing it.
They've said it before.
It doesn't matter, but Fox and USA are in charge of this, and they say, hey, we want our own separate brands.
Yep.
So
and both of them say they want the Fiend.
Well, too bad. Only one can have the Fiend.
Just
and
saying.
Fox got it.
Look, Life of John is like looking at me like,
Life of John and I are on the same page.
Just saying. What was more creepy, Sheep Bray Choir with the kids or the Fiend? I would say the Sheep. Yeah.
Bray Choir.
Yeah. At least with the Fiend, you know what you're getting.
You know, at first,
not that with the other Bray you didn't get.
At first, the Fiend was
kind
of like creepy, but like now you're like, oh, I know what he's gonna look like every time.
And you know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, majority of the time.
Where I think with the other Bray, it was kind of
What the heck?
If you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
In which I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't, but
I don't watch scary movies.
If you've seen that, the other Bray reminds me of that. Like, hey, I'll be your friend. and then I'm going to stab you, type thing. So I would say that one is more creepy.
I suppose so. Yeah, sure.
Blockbuster trade, guess Bray goes back to Raw. Could.
I could see that happening just so we can continue the stupid Seth feud.
I mean, I could see that happening. I think that I could see that they continue with that. I mean, I don't know. I think that I don't mind the Seth feud. I would like to, and I'm not sure if Seth isn't going to turn heel.
I don't know. We'll see at this point.
Rey Mysterio should have went to SmackDown to fight Brock Lesnar.
No. I don't want to see Rey fight anybody at this point.
I don't want to see Rey the Human Dart.
I just don't want to see Rey fight anybody at this point. I think he needs to retire. And I think I'm just done with him. So.
Keep those rosters separated. Again, I'm cool with doing some cross-promotion stuff. I think there's some wrestlers that you have to have on cross-promotion.
Okay, there might be some, but there's not going to be.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Because they have already said themselves they want 2 separated rosters, and so...
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Bray does whatever he wants. That's what I'm saying. Is Bray does whatever he wants. It's not like... That's why I think he could do cross-promotion.
Eric Young getting called up killed his career. Yep. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
see on Raw again. Just stay on. James?
James, he's coming back.
I don't want cross-promotion.
this
I'm
time-
tired of WWE going against their own words. Agreed, which is why I think they have to stick to it, and they have to, keep them separated. Mysterio versus Brock is more interesting than Kane versus Brock, let's be honest here. Honestly, neither are interesting. I don't care about Brock matches, so I really just don't care about Brock matches in general. So
Export, I would say Mysterio versus Brock would be more interesting, but I don't
I
wanna
would
see
just say
either one.
I'm not interested in any Brock Lesnar matches.
Yeah.
So that would be my answer for that.
There's one more match I'd want to see Ray, or one out of Ray Mysterio versus Ricochet, WrestleMania, book it. I think that'd be a good match. That's one of the few matches that I could
Book it.
stand having Ray in. I don't ever want to see Brock Lesnar again. Brock Lesnar needs to retire, but we all know I agree. He won't. He's not going to retire.
Bray on Raw, just go away. At this rate, Eric Young staying in Impact Wrestling doesn't
That's
seem
right,
like it
James.
would have
I don't want to see Bray
been
on.
that bad of a decision.
I don't want to see Bray on there anymore either. I want to see the Fiend.
So then we got Kabuki Warriors versus Natalya and Lacey Evans. Okay, first issue I have with this. They hated each other last week. This logically makes no sense. Second, Lacey Evans is on SmackDown and Natalya is on Raw. And they said there was no more cross-promotion, and they have already broken their own rules. 3, we all know who was winning this match. And it wasn't Natalya and Lacey. So, it was like a decent match, I suppose.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I was expecting Liv Morgan to come out. Because it was towards the end of the show. I thought that this was how they were going to end the show, was with this match.
I did not. Because there was a solid 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So I thought that this is how they would end it. And I was kind of surprised that this wasn't how they ended it.
See what I mean? Lacey's on SmackDown! Yes.
But the draft just got over tonight.
No,
so
but it doesn't
it's
matter.
gonna end,
Lacey's on SmackDown, and she was put on SmackDown on Friday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Lacey's on SmackDown, so she should not have been on Raw.
But they said it last, after the draft.
Okay, whatever. She shouldn't have been on Raw anymore.
That match went on, the thing I hate about WWE's pay-per-views that are named after matches is those matches are only on those pay-per-views that are not on any and all of their pay-per-views like they were back then. Yes, I agree.
The match went on longer than it was supposed to. Just wondering, do any of you watch Impact? Because I was watching it, and OMG, I truly enjoyed it. I would love WWE and Impact to work together. We don't watch Impact at this moment in time, all the time. I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there, like just clips from like Twitter, and stuff does look interesting, but we just don't have like enough time to like
it's just time for us right now.
Watch all of it in
and
a
now
week.
that I'm looking at NWA just because I like the setup, I like the way it's the way it looks, I'll probably watch it before I'll watch Impact.
It went 15 minutes, I think. Way too long. Agreed. It was kind of longer and not like...
Which is why I thought it was going to end. That's what I thought that's what was going to end the show.
Lacey Evans turns face all of a sudden, and why was she on Raw anyway? She was drafted. See? Nobody gets it.
Because the draft wasn't officially over.
Yes, it was over. It was over as of 2 matches ago.
It's the same day.
It doesn't matter. It was over.
All right. Well, whatever. I'm telling you, people are going to be coming SmackDown. Yes, I think so too.
I just finished watching that
match. Life of John of the North versus Mac and Swan versus Rhino and RVD at BFG. Let's go. So pumped. Yeah, that'll probably be good.
Should have been Alexa and Nikki. I don't know. This is just stupid. Natty and Lacey were like not friends last week, so it made no sense storyline wise. They just hated each other. They're not on the same brand anymore. It was dumb. And we all know who was winning the match, which is Kabuki Warriors, which is why I had an issue with this. Yeah, I know, you ran your mouth a bit ago and you were like, oh yeah, it adds more tag teams, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. They're not a tag team.
Okay, then you only have about 4 tag teams.
Okay, whatever. But
just saying.
They were not a tag team. And they're not going to be a tag team.
Well, whatever. I mean,
it's not something that can
no
go.
Tag teams.
It's not even something that can go anywhere because they're on 2 separate brands.
Well, okay, but that's what I'm saying is, and you're only going to have the titles on one brand.
Yeah, you are, because all the tag teams are going to be on the one brand.
Okay.
Like, I just checked out the WWE 2K20 My Career Mode first look. The storyline is on point. The draft is over for the superstar that learns where they're going. So Lacey should have never been on Raw. Excuse my French. But WWE, you dumbass, get your Fruit Loops together, guys. I love when people use Fruit Loops as an insult. It just makes me laugh.
I just think that, it's one of those things that the draft wasn't totally over, so they used it.
WWE 2K20 looks good, but they changed the controls. Thought Ronda was going to be coming back to be Natty's partner, but nope, didn't happen. Might as well delete the tag belts at this point.
Which is what I said.
So, after
because they're only going to be on one brand.
Okay. The Iconics weren't drafted either.
No.
But they'll be on Raw.
Well, they have to be.
Mandy
if there's
and Sonya,
no cross going across to SmackDown, like I said, so then you're going to have all the tag teams.
Why did Vince have his guy Elias at the end of the draft? That's what's so funny about that is Elias was like the golden boy. He was the greatest acquisition that SmackDown Live had when they did the Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah.
And then he was at the end of the draft. All I can do is laugh.
Yeah.
The women's tag belts are still defended on both shows.
But think about it. It's like Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL draft. It's like he's talked about. So now you're going to talk about Elias, see? So they did the right thing.
Did I miss something? Did they draft Sheamus? They did not.
Zendel says the women's tag belts are still defending on both shows, they said. Which is what I'm saying. So then you're going to have going across different...
But Raw has Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, you're going to going across, saying, it's going to be cross promotion, which I agree with. I mean, you have to do it if you're going to keep the women's tag team belts. Free agents can sign with what brand they want to. Well, it looks like Mike Kanellis is going to sign with nobody.
Poor Drake Maverick was not drafted. Yeah, he should go to Raw with EC3. They should form a tag team.
Are they going to move him back to either NXT or to NXT UK? Possibly.
No, I don't see that happening.
Am I the only one that missed the Iconics? Nope. James, you are not.
Would you put Lars? I can't.
So
speak.
Brand split won't mean shit then. Yes.
Would you put Lars Sullivan on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown when he comes back? Probably Raw.
That's a good question.
Probably Raw just because I think they could use a big dude over there, like, because they lost Strowman to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably going to need somebody
Yes.
over there to be their big man.
I think you have to put him on Raw. I need to buy a No Mercy 2002 for the Edge Mysterio Angle Benoit match because that's not going to be on any of Edge's Ray's angles or any other WWE DVDs. Yes, I would agree.
Eli Drake is in NWA. Drake needs to go to NXT UK. Mike wants to be released. Yep, that's what I saw. Eli Drake being in NWA is amazing.
Yeah. We knew, Mike Kanellis is tired of his storyline, so I think he wants out, definitely.
So then to close the show, we got Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse. He's like, talking about his thing with Seth, and then Seth shows up and attacks Bray. He then gets back up and kind of yells at him and is like, Seth, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And then Seth knocks him out again. And then he goes, burn this, click, poof, down. He burned the whole Firefly Funhouse set down.
Mike needs to leave, to be honest. I don't like him. I like Maria. I think the one thing about him is...
I think Mike will leave and Maria will stay in her contract just because
so
she
too.
won't be there anyways because she's having a baby.
Yeah. I think that he's not being used right. If they're not going to use him, and then I don't know.
And I'd rather see the guy, like, be happy than, like, not.
I need to see the Edge Mysterio Angle Benoit. 2 out of 3 falls they had on SmackDown following No Mercy 2002. How was that match? I'd have to go back and watch it again, Clark.
Sorry, guys. I thought I heard something, like, over there. So I'm looking off that way. I think I'm just crazy.
You're hearing noises. Is it bad that I miss Ruby Riott? She was never one of my favorite women's superstars until now.
That's because she's gone.
I think she'll
be back in a couple months.
Yeah.
She had shoulder surgery.
My favorite segment.
She'll be back in...
James, it was my favorite segment, too, because I think they're setting up Seth to turn evil. I think they're setting... Because he let Bray Wyatt let him in, or he let Bray Wyatt in, and I think that they're going to turn him heel. You look at his face, you think about what happened to Hell in a Cell, I think that he's going to turn. WWE just ruined the only creative thing they had going for them. No one enters the Funhouse. Anthony, I would say that too. Here, but I think, again, if they do this the right way, this could be good.
I disagree. I think this was good. And I think it's fine that he went into the Funhouse and kind of did his thing. He found it. He hunted the Fiend. Now,
Yeah.
I would have liked to see more of the Fiend hunt, so to speak. Not just, like, oh, I'm going to go Fiend hunting. Where were you the rest of the night, Seth? And then I found him. I jumped him from behind. It would have been nice to see some more of, like, backstage, like, he's looking for the Fiend type situation and where the Fiend's, like, Funhouse is. I think that would have made it a little more interesting. But all in all, I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. I thought it was good. Mickey James and Ruby Riott should be back in a few months. Yes. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer.
I honestly thought the highlights of the night was Aleister, Buddy Humberto, Liv, and Andrade coming to Raw, and the Street Profits with the OC. I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I think all of those names are really good for Raw. I think they're going to hopefully use them and put them in some interesting things.
This draft, as long as they use the wrestlers, then they can make it good. If they don't, and they kind of just have them there, then the draft is pointless. So dumb to sign these wrestlers to long-term contracts and not use them. Yeah, I agree. I think that if you're going to sign them to a contract, you should be using them.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make a lot of sense. First Randy, now Seth. Oof. Yeah, Bray's house, his fun house, seems to catch fire quite frequently.
Quite frequently, yes. Now,
I'm not sure Liv Morgan wants to get in with him because, things get burnt down. Stop burning down his places. Yeah. They booked themselves into a corner with Fiend versus Seth again. I'm expecting a bigger disaster than Hayek. Again, I think if they do it right, I would like to have seen Seth come out the next night and just said, you know what, the Fiend got to me. I went after him with all these weapons and like sledgehammer and everything else, and I couldn't take him down. And he's in my head, and I just don't know what to think. But they didn't do that, and now they're trying to keep him, like, as a face.
He's not really getting booed, though.
No, but you can make him get booed. I think people lost interest in the storyline. I feel EC3 would be better on SmackDown. That's what he needs to go. Yeah, I think
In
EC3...
kayfabe, how in the hell did Seth find the funhouse?
I think that...
Don't know.
Justin likes your hair.
Oh, thanks.
By the
so
way,
much.
I don't think we said hi, Justin. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say hi?
I think we did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, thanks. I got it cut yesterday.
I feel that, EC3 just needs to be used. Whether it's, whether it's on Raw or SmackDown, he just needs to be used. And K-Fob, how in the hell did Seth find the funhouse?
I mean, yes.
That is a good question.
When is the last time Ollie actually won a match?
That is another good question.
1987.
How about another joke, Maven? What do you get when you have a character possibly as good as The Undertaker and humanize him and ruin him in one night? I'll tell you what you get. You get what you deserve. Thinking about it now, I think it's smart to have Seth versus Fiend Falls count anywhere is good. It depends how they do it. That's the big thing.
I kind of feel bad for Bray because Randy burned down his house, and now Seth burned down the Firefly Funhouse. Yeah.
Yes, and Bray was such a good guy. He didn't have anything to do with this. It should be the Fiend he's after.
Bray and his friends aren't doing anything wrong. Bray's only happiness was the Funhouse. Now he's going to get angry, I'm guessing. Yowie wowie.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Maven the new Bailey. I kind of said that like a little bit ago. I was like, how funny. Bailey and I got our haircut like...
The same.
Basically the same.
Yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose. I was just kind of like, I want my hair to be short. So,
the last match Ali won was the King of the Ring against Murphy, I think, 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's won. It's been a really long time since he's won.
Real quick while we're here, we're talking about Crown Jewel. Yes. 2 matches that got announced today. I knew Maven was a heel from the first time I watched y'all. Yeah, I got the hair to, prove it now. I went Bailey. We call this the Bailey.
Yeah.
No, but Mansoor versus Cesaro was announced for Crown Jewel. We all know who's winning that, and it is not Cesaro.
No.
And then we have a best tag team in the world tag team.
Jonelle, Bailey has to sell it to make it good. And right now, I haven't had a feeling that she's really sold it enough for me.
I disagree. I think it's good. So the match for the greatest tag team in the world at the Saudi show, it consists of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus the Revival versus the New Day versus the Viking Raiders versus Heavy Machinery versus Lucha House Party versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus OC and versus the B Team.
Bailey got that generic superstar 3.
With our luck, Lucha House Party's going to win this tournament, and they're going to be known as the best tag team in the world. And then they're going to turn into Shane, and then they're going to ruin them. No, wait, sorry, they're already ruined.
Yeah.
They suck. So, yeah, Lucha House Party's probably going to win.
I don't know. I look forward to this match.
If not Lucha House Party, I would then say Dolph Ziggler and Rude. I would then say after that, maybe possibly Revival just to add to their gimmick, but who knows.
I think the B team's going to win.
I would say Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins next, then B Team, then Heavy Machinery. I think the least likely to win it are New Day, Viking Raiders, and OC.
The B team.
Oh, and Heavy Machinery.
Well, Zandel just said he wants Heavy Machinery to win.
Oh, well.
Didn't Seth? I thought Seth was going to be part of the Team Hogan versus Team Flair.
He is.
Yeah.
But he has 2 matches then.
Yeah.
How does that make any
We
sense?
do that frequently. I haven't even seen much promoted for the Team Hogan, Team Flair thing.
Maybe they're just going to scrap it as a whole.
They might.
Let's look this up, shall I just hit the
You
mic.
just
Sorry,
hit the
guys.
mic.
Let's just look this up, shall we?
Oh, let's see here. If a real T8 tag team doesn't win that match, it'll be a joke. Yes, I agree 100%. B team.
B team.
B
Go,
team.
go, go. Bailey as a heel is like an angry chihuahua.
I don't know. I don't see Bailey as a heel. I mean, it's just she's got to sell it better. I just don't think that. I don't feel she's heel.
Still sick, so I'm going to head off for now. All right, Export. Feel better. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by, Export.
Not at Bailey and Sasha are heels, but they're in a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
Ricochet is now on Team Hogan. He is. Well,
So they take. I assume they took out.
how did
No.
that happen?
So Seth is going to.
Wrestle twice,
Yeah.
apparently. And Nakamura was added to Team Flair.
Yeah.
Well, what the heck? Who are going to be the last two guys?
Do not know.
On
The
Hogan
teams are
and
almost
one
filled.
on-
Yes. Okay,
And
here we
they
go
didn't
again.
even
It's going to
tell
be
us.
Shane 2.0 all over again. Get ready. Yeah, that would not surprise me.
But they didn't even tell us that they added people into the match. They
Well,
just
they're-
did it.
They're still missing 3 people, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're missing 2 from Team Hogan and 1 from
but they didn't
Team
tell
Flair.
us.
Bailey, new theme needs to be changed.
Agreed.
I would agree they have to change it. I think they need to change their gimmick. I think they need to change their outfit. If you're going to sell this, you need to change like her and her personality.
How about a Sasha Banks hurt, or is she just taking more time off? Nobody knows. As far as we know, she has a back injury. I don't know how extensive it is, if she's gonna need surgery or something, but if it is, she could be out for a while.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see.
If
how.
it's a legitimate back injury, I see her being out for a long time.
Now, that's where we're leaving that. Then we have WWE at this.
Yes, Elijah, if you missed the beginning of
This
this, we
is
had to
playing
talk
out
about that.
the way it plays out if you simulate 3 or 4 years worth of WWE Universe mode on 2K and don't touch anything. There are 2 people on a team for the Crown Jewel pay-per-view because they didn't build it up enough. Yeah, but nobody cares
Yeah.
about Crown Jewel to begin with, so that's kind of the issue there.
That's the big issue.
They showed the graphic showing the teams, but they didn't really talk about it. That was the issue.
It's
that
like
they
they
didn't
were.
talk
I
about
thought
it.
they were gonna promote this big time, and do it every week. And now it's kind of went away.
Yeah, they decided
I mean, does anybody else get that feeling
no.
that they kind of It seems like they were gonna really promote it, and then yes, Crown Jewel's pay-per-views do suck. But I got a feeling that they were really gonna try and promote it, and then all of a sudden it's they don't care. Weird champions and mind-boggling storylines. Yes, I would 100% agree with that.
Very weird.
I don't understand, their whole.
Is Roman on the card? Not yet. He might be added to Team Hogan.
I'm gonna see he's gonna be on a team somewhere.
Because I don't see him being on Team Flair.
Well, they started out hyping up the Team Flair versus Team Hogan, and then it's kind of who cares now?
Dwindled down to nothing.
The Fiend is in WWE
Because now they're
2K20.
focusing on the Tyson Fury, the match, and the Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. I'm not fighting for the Universal Championship match. That's what I'm not here for.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the Universal Championship. Did anybody else see that? Where Cain Velasquez had an interview or something, or he put out something and he thanked a whole bunch of people.
I feel like I'm watching a WWE Universe mode being simulated in front of me.
He put out something with thanking his coaches and his mentors and all these different people, and then he was like, I'm telling you, I'm not just coming to get the Universal Championship. I'm not just coming to do that. And people are like, bro, I hate to tell you, but you're not even fighting for the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
You're fighting for the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Shows how much you know, idiot.
Well, he's not going to fight for the Universal
It was
Championship.
so funny. It was so funny. I didn't get it at first. I was like, what?
Yeah,
You
it was
didn't just come to fight for the Universal Championship?
whole thing
yeah,
was confusing.
whatever. I was like, you did too come to fight for the Universal Championship. You did too come out to put a name out for yourself or whatever. And then I like realized what he said, and I was like, you're not even fighting for the Universal Championship.
This WWE Universe simulation sucks. Can we go back to a time when CM Punk and Shield?
Call him an idiot. Like, seriously.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like,
I don't. He didn't know what he was talking about. He had no clue what he was talking about.
Which is
part of the reason that you should keep, bring in the wrestlers.
If they know nothing. If they can't
I know that, mistakes are made, but keep the wrestlers there and, like, promote your within. Time machine back to 2006, 2011 when WWE was good. Yeah.
I wish.
I think that it could be good again if they would do it right.
Yeah.
I think that's the big issue is they need to just let some of the stars be stars and turn them loose and not hold them back. I think a lot of times they hold them back and it just kills the wrestling, kills the whole thing. They should have put Crown Jewel on a Friday because they know everybody was going to be busy with Halloween and nobody. I agree, Jono.
I said the same thing.
I don't know why they did it on Thursday.
Probably because they moved SmackDown to Fridays, and they're gonna try and get talent back. But I don't know how you could do that.
Well, they could always do something. I mean, I was hyped for the draft, but man, it really sucked for me. I don't. The way they did it, I didn't like it. The first night they had posted exactly how the draft was going to go.
Yeah, and then they took it down and
Mr.
Gleen, I like your open-mindedness.
Thanks. Based on what I've seen, the graphics for WWE 20 are not great, to be honest.
I don't think they're that bad.
The thing is, I've seen some good pictures, and I've seen some that are not.
I don't think they're that bad.
I sit there and
I definitely think there are some like face molds that are like.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, I don't think it's bad. I feel like Vince is sabotaging his shows on purpose so they can be behind in the war and then make a huge comeback.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
I didn't either.
I suppose it's one of those things where you're going into the war, and if you make it look bad, and then you start to make it look good,
people are gonna be like,
"Wow, look how much this has improved. Let's go watch that."
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it makes some kind of sense. Yeah. If they do that, then the women will go back to divas, and I'm not with that. I wish the women would just have their own show.
I think the women being on Raw and SmackDown are fine. I don't have a problem with it.
I think you could do so much more if the women had their own show.
I mean, I definitely agree, but like,
just because there's only 40
being...
women and 45 women in the whole main
that.
roster.
I think there's more than that.
I don't think there's many more than that.
But I don't have a problem with them being on Raw and SmackDown.
Or they could be good and improve and get better. I want to. Yeah, I mean they could do that too.
Whatever.
So the women, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 32 women between Raw and SmackDown.
How fun.
And then if you add in the NXT, you add in another 15. So 47. So 47 women between the three promotions. So I don't know.
But what company has more women than that?
None, but I think that if you're going to do a show with them, I think you should put them all together, which is why I think it's tough doing a tag team division with them. Or they could be good. I'm waiting for the next big game, AEW. Yes, I'm waiting for that one too. See what it's going to be like. Back then, Dean versus Seth were good matches, like the ladder match and the lumberjack match. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's the way they've done things. I don't think it's so much the wrestlers themselves. I think it's how
Vince.
They've let them work.
Vince.
They let the women be part of Superstar Showdown last year. Can you sing A New Evolution again? Yes, I think they should be doing something with the women. Definitely.
It sucks to see WWE like this because I've been a fan since 2004. It's tough to see this garbage.
Yeah. Yes. 100% agree.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny here, Zandel, and to everybody, I just started getting back into it. I kind of watched it some over the last probably 5 or 6 years, since Maven started watching it. And then in the last year, since we started doing the show, I started paying attention more and watching more and stuff like that. And just like from when I really watched it, because I watched it in the 90s, and just how much different it is compared to now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they let the talent be the talent.
What is your Twitter? My Twitter is at Maven Gleen.
Mine is at Mr. Gleen.
And
at the Wrestle Story.
Yes.
I'm surprised when Seth burned down the Firefly Funhouse, did not end with a DQ ending. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we are
1994, 2011, WWE Rest in Peace. I have an Instagram, but we haven't done a whole lot with it. I'm looking to do more with it. The Wrestle Story, I believe.
Yeah,
I think it's in our... If you look down in our Twitter... Look, our Twitter is down there. Our Instagram is not there now.
But we can.
I will put it back
down
up.
There.
I'll get the Instagram put back up. We also have a Twitch channel. We're going to start to look to do some WWE 2K. We'll put that on Twitch initially, and then probably post videos back to YouTube.
And then we always have our action figure stuff.
I've been watching wrestling when the Monday Night Wars started when I was 4. Yes.
95 was a bad year for WWF/WWE. 2019 to 2019 Firefly Funhouse, you will always be creepy and good. R.I.P. But, it could make a comeback like Ramblin' Rabbit did.
Yes.
Ramblin' Rabbit made a comeback
Ramblin' Rabbit never dies.
He made a comeback.
He lives forever.
Exactly. He's immortal. It looks like he dies.
Yes.
But then he's like, poof, I'm back.
Yes. And then he's there.
So, I think that's pretty much it, guys.
Maven's tired.
I am tired.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
With her infusion, being up early this morning.
Yep.
My favorite years was 06 to 2010. This is I get excited about non-WWE events like BFG. I went to Ring of Honor show when Joe and Red Dragon was there. Also when Jordan Miles. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I would like to get into some of those other things. Again, the NWA kind of has piqued my interest with
We'll be doing
just the whole set.
20.
So I'm probably going to watch some of that.
And the Four Horsewomen Showcase also. Yeah, we're going to pretty much do everything. Like, we're going to look at everything on the 2K20.
Yeah, we're gonna go through everything and
check it out.
One thing we've talked about doing is maybe if you guys had like wrestlers created, we could like put on a show with your wrestlers. If you'd be interested in that.
Ramblin' Rabbit is Jesus.
They shouldn't put Bobby Lashley in the storyline with
Lana.
They didn't learn a lesson from 2016. Yes, I agree.
Ramblin' Rabbit is
We
Jesus.
are going to take off. Maven's going to go get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm going to go get ready to go get some sleep. Just because I do have a job. That's the way life goes sometimes. You guys are awesome. Well, good night, everyone, and I really enjoy you, Maven and Mr. G. Good night. Good night, Zendel. Thanks for stopping by. You guys make it awesome. You guys are what makes the show great and fun to do. We'll be back on Wednesday with
NXT and AEW.
NXT and AEW.
It's our long show. Woohoo!
Good evening from the void.
Yep.
Good night, Life of John. We are out of here. Peace out.